Hey folks, this is Mark Henry, author of Dancing with Energy, Healing Magic, and Mysticism, here to talk to you more about the occult and the paranormal. Well, today I'm going to be discussing something a little different. So it's going to be called Encouragement During Dark Times. Before I begin, I just wanted to remind you of a couple things. Um, One, actually, this is something new. I'm going to be doing an attunement sale in my Etsy store. And of course, there is no national holiday, but there is a holiday, I guess, for me because it is my birthday. So I figured, why don't we celebrate together like we did last year? And so I discounted it, everything in the store. So if you want to level up your life, improve your magic, make your existence better, then check out the attunements and the attunement store. And for those of y'all, because I've already been asked, if y'all don't, want attunement and you just want to send me a few dollars for a coffee or a drink or something, I'll put my PayPal and Cash App. I'll send a link in the description. Okay, so let's go ahead and get down to it. So encouragement during dark times. So I know that there are a lot of reasons why people come to this channel and watch my videos. Could be curiosity, could be looking for wisdom, knowledge, or it could be just trying to make your life better. Uh, all that being said, um, most of the people that come to this channel are magicians, sorcerers, witches, astrologers, diviners, all sorts of people, and others who carry other labels. And that is something that I definitely welcome. Now, there are, even though that everybody here is a magician, most people a magician, a witch, and so on, is that we are all still human and we go through struggles and we have different things we go through. We go through kind of despair, anxiety, discouragement, excessive anger, all those types of things that make us um, individuals and humans on planet Earth incarnated into a world of form and flesh. So that is kind of what we deal with, and we have what we seek to, I guess, in a way, become more fully complete in a way. But it isn't just our own personal stuff that we deal with, maybe with family and psychological things and work, but we also deal with macro forces, economics, what's going on in the country, climate type of stuff. So if you're feeling discouraged, remember these things. Number one, are assisted in so many ways by many unseen forces. I've spoken on this before. We have guides, we have spirit guides that are there rooting for us, who do their best to work in the background, but work even more effectively when we make conscious contact with them, talk to them, integrate them into our life, almost like just any other type of relationship, except that these forces are invisible. They've known you for a very long time, most of the time before you were even born. So these are helpers and friends and can do quite a bit in helping you grow and become more of who you will become and live up to your potential. So this is number one that I want everybody to remember. And if you haven't reached out to your spirit guides, and it's a good time to start. But even apart from spirit guides, we have angels, we have ancestors, and all these different forces. Especially our ancestors, our bloodline. Those spirits are still intact, trying to help you, still connected with you. And it's always a good idea to have an ancestor altar, maybe give offerings. I'm a big person who believes in offerings for ancestors and various other spirits because it seems that when that happens on a regular basis, that life tends to run a little smoother, a little bit less misfortune. Number two, remember your past successes. It's very easy to get caught up into what's happening on a day-to-day basis, and even talking bad about yourself. If you're somebody who struggles with low self-esteem and you are used to beating yourself up about things, remember your past successes. And if it's difficult to remember, you may need to take time just to try to sit down, be still, take some deep breaths, and remember the hard times that you've dealt with in the past, and the fact that you have gotten through with them, and may have even gotten through them with a little bit of style and grace. So remember that next time that you're going through something troubling, because I guarantee you it hasn't been the first time you've dealt with difficult things, and yet you are here to talk about it, and you are here to contemplate it. You are living and breathing, and you've made it. You've made it this far. This is a hard school, planet Earth, and we deal with a lot of difficult situations, many hard events, and we as a species just keep going. We're still here. We haven't gone anywhere. Number two, remember your ability to influence outcomes. It's funny because I mentioned all the different labels of witch, sorcerer, astrologer, and all of these types of things, magician. And magic is done, and then at the same time, for many people who practice, they still feel a sense of powerlessness, like a sense of, well, I must not be that good if I don't have everything that I want right here, right now. And it's a good idea to set that aside, because that's not a very helpful way of looking at things. Again, if you wanted to use past successes, if you have successfully done certain spells and work before and had a positive outcome, remember that. As a side note, it's always good to keep a magical journal in order to keep track of these things, so that when you do remember, hey, this I have been successful before, you can actually go back and you have it documented in your own handwriting. That way, you can't convince yourself that it didn't happen, because you have your own signature. So otherwise, it would be kind of strange. So our work, our work of magic, it's easy to see mistakes and to see how things may not have turned out the way that we wanted. Remember that how far you have progressed from the past, especially if you've been doing this a while. If you remember your first couple months of being interested in the occult world and doing magical work, you've probably come a long way. You probably do things differently. You've learned, you've developed the wisdom, some wisdom that you didn't possess when you first started. Also, I think we underestimate, especially if you're doing magic on a regular basis, we underestimate the impact of our influence on our lives, especially when we're working on ourselves. And what do I mean by that? I mean that because if in time, if we do a certain working, and then we have a partial effect, or maybe even successful effect, we can doubt that at a certain point. Maybe say it's coincidence. What we can't do is go back in time, not do it, and then see maybe a little bit more misfortune comes our way. That I think that with our guides, with our magic, if you are doing a lot of different things, all of these forces and energies are coming together to kind of prop you up. And I really don't think we realize how much that is actually happening. Why we don't realize it? Again, because we can't go back and stop all of it and replay it and see how things didn't. Life is in you're in a worse place in your life because of it, because of not doing anything. So I wanted to remind you of these things and give you some words of encouragement. I'm not going to talk your ear off today, so please subscribe and like. I'll put a link in the description for the Etsy sale. And I hope that you all have a good rest of the weekend, and I will talk to you later. Bye-bye.